speak. Okay, so I meant, why do you read English stories in classroom? हम क्यों पढ़ते हैं English stories classroom में? हम किसी से क्यों नहीं सुन सकते? Why we can't learn it from others? You know, why we can't listen to somebody? हम इसलिए पढ़ते हैं. We learned it because we need a source to study. Okay, somebody should have written a good text. We read it so that we write well. Now, where is the spoken and where is the listening part? For that, I've given you 15 minutes. I was just speaking, right? I was just speaking. I was just talking. I wa adum ngang alai the student, for the Manipuri students, okay? I wa adum ngang alai so that you listen to me and you try to at least imitate the benchmark that you need to achieve so that you understand it. Okay, so that is why we read English stories in classroom, because we want to understand meaning, not the form. Okay, what will be the meaning and form, you must be thinking. Why do we do addition and subtraction? Why do we do in the class? हम क्यों करते हैं गणित? हम प्लस माइनस क्यों करते हैं? We do it not just for the sake of learning, right? Are we doing it for the sake of learning? No, we do it so that we go to shopkeeper. We go to a shopkeeper. We want to buy something. And then we say that, yeah, if I'm giving you 100 rupees to the shopkeeper, I'm giving 100 rupees to the shopkeeper. Now, shopkeeper, the cost of the item that I am buying, it costs like 80 rupees, suppose. Then I should understand, no, that I should understand that a shopkeeper should give me 20 rupees back. So that's the basic addition and subtraction. The same thing is applied to the language. When we learn language, what we do is we want to speak the language like, we have understood it as a second language. We should have the skills. What is the meaning of skill that I keep talking about? The meaning of skill is, knowing that thing, so that I can use. I acquired the knowledge so that I use it. That skill, like carpentry is a skill, uh, uh, horse riding is a skill, those kind of thing. Okay, so we go to school, we learn English, we read English stories with our teachers. They teach us so that we pick up vocabulary. Like I spoke about lexicon, vocabulary building, if you guys remember that. Okay, lexicon, that's the vocabulary building. So we read that story, or we read it aloud. Chorus reading, that's called chorus reading. We read it aloud. Why do we read English stories in classrooms? Now, I spoke about deliberation also. That can also be understood. And the idea of flashing slide is because sometimes I speak, whatever I speak, you could not understand, because we have a habit of writing good English, but and not able to listen to something carefully, or not able to understand something well. Sometimes we have that problem. Even in watching movies also we need subtitle, and it helps. But most of the lectures, I will not show you slides when you speak, but when I give my theory class, I want to give the presentation so that you read it. Okay, now let me come to the next slide. What does it say? Language is best acquired when attention is focused on meaning, not on form. In simple language, what I would like to say is, you don't think is, am, are, whether I should use a singular, with a singular noun, should I use a plural verb, like Firoza eats an apple, Firoza eat apple. Those kind of form, that is the form structure. If you remember structure, sentence structure, we think about that structure a lot when we speak. That is why there is a barrier in our brain. I want you to remove that. आपको वो barrier निकालना है. Why are you speaking? Why you have joined my class? So that you can speak English. Why are you bothered? Okay, when you go to interview, when you go for a formal interview, okay, that time we have to work upon it. But now what we need, that we need to think first, break that barrier. That training will also come. So that will be acquired. That skill will be acquired. That barrier can be tackled. That barrier can be, a challenge by doing what? By reading more and more, by understanding, by reading, by acquiring, by exposing ourselves. That is what the resource personnel of NCRT has given it, and I've taken it from class 6 textbook of NCRT, and it's beautifully the advice has been given. These advices are laid down, these are laid down very nicely in the book. That's why I'm giving. Okay, so मीनिंग पे ज्यादा ध्यान दीजिए पहले स्टार्टिंग में, फॉर्म पे नहीं. दैट्स व्हाई व्हेन यू आर अ small boy, okay, your teacher does not say anything for, like, I have heard, okay, Mr. KK Singh, who's the owner of the firm, I remember when he was doing his schooling, he told me the story, to say that, oh, today is very we have a sultry day, we have a very warm weather, it's very sultry, it's very hot in India, okay, we say so, no, the summer we say so, it's very sultry. Now Mr. KK Singh could not say it is it's very hot, so he said today is very summer. So, but as a child, no teacher will say no, it is bad. So the first thing that you should, that form is also important, but more exposure is to the meaning. That is why I try to promote that exposure to the meaning. Exposure to the meaning is listening to more sources, good speeches, watching news. That's why our teachers, they tell us, no, go home, watch news, come back in morning assembly, and we present news items. Most of the schools, they do so. Good schools, they do so. And most so that is what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, don't worry when I speak about meaning and form. Okay, I hope the linguistic students would understand when I speak about meaning and form. For that matter, the higher class students, okay, they would understand. For the young boys and girls, what I would like to say is speak more. Don't think who will say what about me when I speak. Just break the barrier and speak. Okay, so acquired, must be difficult vocabulary for many students, I know. That is why I thought of writing the meaning, acquired. So whenever you write down the meaning, I want you to write like this: what is the function of the word, or in your language, what is the part of speech of that word? So acquired, here it is used as verb. So what is the meaning? Learn or develop. Now, next is language comes alive when presented in meaning making context. I'm only worried about meaning making context. Like for younger boys and girls, I talk about abstract ideas. ऊस उदरी बमित ना, हमने जो चीज देखा ही नहीं है उसके बारे में बात करेंगे, कैसे समझेंगे? Like Alfred has never seen Switzerland, or Alfred has never tasted any Chinese food. Okay, forget about the Indian taste of Chinese food. Okay, I'm not talking about something very authentic. For that matter, now hum put that, Kerala food, that put and banana. Okay, I talk about put and banana in Manipur, nobody will understand. Now I talk about iromba in Kerala, nobody would understand until and unless you have some exposure to it. That is why when in the class, okay, or when you learn, try to learn from the simple step. सिंपल चीजों से आप लर्न कीजिए, छोटा छोटा जो दिख रहा है वो करिए. You will be able to improve it. Okay, and whatever we are doing or we are learning, it should be of meaning making context. From here, spoken maybe I can pick up. Spoken maybe what I can pick up? I can pick up meaning making. Whatever I speak, other person should understand. Okay, that is what I meant. Okay, and words, phrases that are used to accomplish many useful purposes follow a certain system inherent in the language itself. This is a very good example. Okay, I want to start with the Kerala example first. Okay, in Kerala, some of the words are very traditional. Okay, some of the words, like in Malayalam, whatever you speak, okay, it is related to the Malayalam tradition, or custom, religion, the way you live in Kerala, and your geography. Okay, so Malayalam words will be associated with it. So English words are associated with the place where English is originated. Okay, nowadays English is spoken internationally. That is why, Avatar is a word. Avatar, you would have watched a movie. It's a Sanskrit word, but it has got a place in Oxford Dictionary. Okay, so like that, and it keeps forming. So the cultural things are also important. Okay, so in Manipur we have a vegetable. Okay, we have a vegetable yong chak. So people translate it yong chak. If you break down these words into two parts, yong means monkey, chak means rice. So we say monkey rice. For fun, it is okay, but yongchak has only a scientific name. Yongchak has only a scientific name. Yongchak does not have the English name because yongchak is not eaten. For like parantha in Hindi, like Punjabis parantha khate hain. Parantha ka English kya hai? It's just a bread. Why it is a bread? Because English they eat bread, they don't have the concept of parantha. So it remains parantha. So whenever you want to speak, you speak something which is related to your culture and which you have not come across, in English. You should not stop. You should rather try to explain it. You explain it like Manipuris, koi kari chai, ngari chai. Okay, we eat fermented this thing fish. So that kind of fish, like dry fish in Kerala, seafood people eat. No, so those kind of thing. It does not have English translation. Okay, good. Don't be scared. Try to speak whatever is the try to tell it to the world. Okay, I'm just speaking in the context of a spoken because it's a spoken class. Okay, so again, I've told you, no, accomplish is the verb, and achieve or uh, complete something, accomplish. So I want all my students to accomplish today's class, accomplish today's work, accomplish, finish, complete something with a goal of achievement. Okay, with a goal of achievement. So this way, you should, when you read a sentence like this, I want you to pick a vocabulary like this. You should also have a habit of writing the function of that particular word, and then you can write the meaning also. This is a good exercise. Okay, and then learners become familiar with the system through continuous exposure to language in meaning focused situation. I want you to expose yourself. For small boys and girls, what I want to say, you should focus, you should focus your learning to meaning making situation. Like when you read the word, you should understand the meaning. Now, that is why I'm not telling you to learn, okay, what is noun, what is verb. That is also important. That is also important. Now you pick up vocabulary first. Okay, vocabulary, what does it mean? It's not only the comparison. You read a lot, and then you will understand. Nobody teaches you to eat. That you don't break down. When you were a child, आप जब बच्चे थे, मम्मी बोलते थे ऐसे खाओ. Your mama says eat like this. Okay, but that is not a complete procedure. No, you are not told हाथ इधर रखो उसके बाद ऐसे करो. You don't write it like an experiment. Experiment eben einer notebook da. You write experiments like swimming. How did you swim? You go jump. More in the village, most of the kids, they just go, they get into waters, they get into pond, they get into water bodies. Okay, waters, it's water. When I say waters, it means pond, sea, rivers. Okay, so I can, if I use s with water, so it means pond, sea, rivers. Okay, so you go there, you swim, you learn it. But when you join Naval Academy, there will be an instructor who's trying to teach you 1, 2, 3. Like they break down the theory of that swimming. That is also good. But here in language learning, I'm telling you to expose yourself. Expose yourself. Listen to great speakers. If you are a Malayali, I want you to take pride in listening to Sashi Tharoor. Listen to him. He's a good speaker. Benchmark that I would like to advise is Sashi Tharoor. Okay, Sashi Tharoor is too big, it's so great. Now, what to do? I don't understand whatever Sashi Tharoor speaks. You listen to your English teacher. At least try to speak like your English teacher in school. That way you can learn. At least, At least you should try to listen to somebody who's good at speaking, learn from that person. So the idea is to expose yourself, read more, listen to TV news presenters, Doordarshan or BBC, okay, and try to learn and try to connect. You should keep that inquisitiveness on in your brain, then you can learn. And the next is, okay, now I would like to have a little chit chat. I would like to have a chit